Hello, my friend. Risa coming to you live on Friday for a little heart to heart. Nice to be with you today. We are talking about, are you settling? Do you feel like you're in a relationship and you're settling for something that is really ultimately not going to serve you, that's you're never really going to be happy with? That was my case. I think, I kind of knew for a long time somewhere deep down in my heart that I was never like it. This was never really going to be the ultimate fulfilling relationship. But you know what the problem was is that I wasn't in really good relationship with myself, and so let's talk about this today. Is what do you really need to be happy? Maybe your situation's different. Maybe you are with somebody who you feel like, they are your person, but you're just struggling. Like there's problems, right? And, maybe just that sense of disconnection or communication. And this is going to be helpful for you either way. So let's talk about what do you really need to be happy? And it starts with us. Like I'm saying, it's our own relationship with ourselves. And so if you've heard me talk before, if you've heard my story, I was married to a man who struggled with alcoholism, and I didn't realize how much I was depending on him for my sense of happiness, my sense of identity, that sense of security, until he descended into alcoholism and depression. And then I had to come back to myself. I found me. I had a choice to make then. And it was a really painful time in my life, but I'm really grateful for it now. And I never thought I'd be telling you this, but I just learned so much about myself and what it takes to be in a healthy relationship. And so, maybe your story is different, but I think that I see that so much. I think that's such a common mistake, is that we're kind of looking to other people for whatever, that love, that approval, that safety, that security. And I think that's kind of how we're taught how to do relationships, finding that other half, like the better half, or that other person to complete you. But I have to tell you, it doesn't work that way. Would you agree? Type in, by the way, say hi. If you're here live, if you're on the replay, type in, say hi. And let me know if this is resonating with you. Yeah. And so what is the problem with this? It's like when we're looking to other people, for that sense of love, approval, security, safety, that's a big burden to put on somebody else. If I'm looking to someone else to make me happy, nobody can do that for you. And I know I tell you this all the time, but this is really, I think, that the essence of a lot of problems that I see that we experience in our relationships. It's like we first have to recognize that, happiness, it is our job. That's our job. It's an inside job. Nobody else, it's not their job to make us happy. And, they're just human beings, right? Hey, Sharika, nice to see you, darling. Right? They're just human beings. And so they're probably just having a hard enough time making themselves happy. And so that places a big burden on people and unrealistic expectations. And I call that definition of expectation, when we're looking to other people to make us happy and kind of fill our love tank and make us feel safe and secure and all of that, which perfectly understandable why we would gravitate that way. But when we're expecting someone else to do that, I call that a disappointment waiting to happen. I was disappointed a lot of times until I finally realized, like, other people, they're just humans, and we all have our stuff, and nobody can really be that for you 100% of the time, right? We're all humans. And so I feel like we need to, other people just recognize, like, they're not our source. So we need to learn how to be resourced from within ourselves. And everyone has their own sense of spirituality and your own understanding of whatever that is to you. And I talk about, being in right relationship with yourself. But I know for me, it's not just, my myself in my human personality form. It's really tapping into I'm a very spiritual person, so like I tap into just that greater sense of who I am as a spirit, right? Wayne Dyer would say we're not humans having a spiritual experience, we're spirit having a human experience, right? So I think if we can tap into that larger part of ourselves and just really feel that, divine love that is here for us, and know at our deepest essence, our core, you already are beautiful and whole and perfect and complete, and just tapping into that part of me, and just feeling that sense of wholeness in who I am, and coming into right relationship with myself. And so that's my invitation for you today, is to maybe just start to think about, am I looking to my partner to fill this type of need in me that I really need to be trying to figure out how to fill myself? And because what's the other problem with that is that when we're looking to that, we're sort of looking for love in the wrong place, right? In all the wrong places. And then the problem is then we're making our well-being dependent on how another person is able to show up, how they're showing up for us or not showing up for us, or not showing up for themselves in their lives, right? And so I don't know about you, but that's what I learned through my experience in my marriage, is that I cannot, and I will not make my well-being ever again dependent on another person and how they're choosing to show up in their lives for themselves, because it's really not about me, it's about them. And so that's my invitation, is for us to just sort of let's stop focusing on that other person. And I know it's easy to point fingers, right? It's easy to blame and just say, oh well, you know what, reset. No, if he would just be or they would just be doing something different, then it'd be okay and I'd be happy. But really at our core, what we need is to feel that sense of wholeness and being able to stand in our own power. Would you agree? So this is my path that I've been on, and not to say that I'm all good and all perfect all the time, far from it, trust me. But I recognize now like the unhealthy patterns, and when I am I'm having that tendency, and I can bring myself back. It's like no, hook back up, with my source, come back to myself. And so to be really clear, though, that's not to be saying that you should be accepting any kind of unacceptable behavior, and it's not to say that there aren't things that would need to change in order for you to want to stay and be happy in this relationship. But first and foremost, what we need is ourselves. Right? We got to be in good, I would say, you got to be in right relationship with yourself. Until we're in right, good alignment with ourselves, then no relationship's ever going to be right, because no one can fill that need for us. And that's what we, at our core, at our essence, like if we're happy with ourselves, then maybe it doesn't matter so much. We're not so dependent on how other people are showing up and needing to get that love from them. We're learning how to get it from within and from above, if that's if that makes sense for you. So this is my invitation, is for us to just start to get our focus back on ourselves, and just start to ask, am I looking to this other person to fill a need for me that I really need to start getting from within myself? And so I know that's the deeper work that I do with my clients, and that I've done with myself for all these years. But just as a starting point, like, can we just start to? Would you be willing? Like, let's be willing to just start to take responsibility for ourselves. Let's stop pointing fingers. Let's stop blaming. How am I showing up for me? Maybe I don't like the situation right now, but I can like myself in it, and I can take care of myself in it. And if I'm putting up with unacceptable behavior, then I can start to look at myself. Well, what is it in me? And we all have our stuff. We all have our old patterns, our childhood patterns that cause us to put up with stuff that is not really acceptable. And, learning how to set good boundaries, and have good communication skills. These are all things that I help my clients with. But just, as a starting point for today, would you be willing? Would you be willing to just let's look within ourselves and take responsibility for ourselves? And what's one thing, this is always the bottom line question. What do I need to do today to take care of myself? Or what do I need to do right now to take care of myself? Whatever that looks like for you, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Maybe I need to take a little quiet time this weekend and just relax and receive and just be with me and slow down a little bit, maybe do some journaling. I think that's in store for me this weekend. So type in, share with us, what's one thing you can do to just be a little nicer to you? What's one thing you can do to just take care of you right now? So give this a thumbs up if it was helpful. That gives me some feedback as to how I can best support you. And I have to tell you, if you didn't see the masterclass last night, we did an amazing class. How do you know when it's time to go? And we took actually a much deeper dive into this. We talked about what's not working and can you fix it? What do you need to be happy? And how do you know when it's time to go? So definitely go back and check out the replay. It's going to be up through the weekend. So definitely check that out. And if you are feeling like you're ready to have a little bit more support, I did offer everybody who came to the class a special gift. I opened up a few extra time slots in my calendar over the next few days. If you want some individual support, you can click. I'll put a link under this video too when we're done, but there's inviting you to have a complimentary 30-minute one-on-one Zoom call with me. It's a relationship clarity session where we can just take a look at what is the biggest challenge you're having right now in your relationship? Where are you getting stuck? And lay out a little plan. What are going to be the most important things that you need to focus on? Or what's the one most important thing that you need to focus on to be able to get the clarity you need to be able to move ahead in your life and be happy? So I'm happy to support you. If you feel like you're ready for a little more individual support, definitely click that link and grab a spot on my calendar, because I only have a few spots open over the next few days. So go ahead and grab one of those sooner rather than later if you want to get on and have a talk with me. I'd be happy to support you. All right, my darlings, lots of love. Remember to watch the replay if you didn't see the masterclass. Click that link if you want to get on for a chance to connect with me personally. I'd love to see you. And give this a thumbs up if it was helpful for you. Type in any questions, comments, things to share. I'll be going back to look for those. All right, my darlings, mwah, lots of love. Love yourself up. Remember your bottom line question, what do I need to do today to just take care of me? All right, love yourself up. I love you. I will see you soon. Bye for now.